What's good, YouTube? It's your man, Turn Me Up Tony, back at it with another reaction video on this lovely Sunday evening. Now, today, we got a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration. The Art of Waiting Your Turn 3. This is a 3-part series of basically stating why you should always keep going. When things get hard, when things get tough, delayed gratification. Keep showing up. So this video is a 3-part series. This is the 3rd part. If you haven't seen the other 2 parts, make sure you go check those videos out. And it's basically summing up the same thing. So this is going to be my first time reacting to it. And it's just going to be, well, let me not get into that. Let me stop talking. We just gonna get into the video. Before we do, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get it.
What would you say to someone who's like trying to come up? Maybe not necessarily the way you came up, obviously, but in their own way. What would you tell them? What kind of encouragement would you?
One thing I hate saying this because everybody says it, like consistency, dedication, like, you feel me? But people don't understand that like slow motion is better than like no motion. Like I swear to God, I just feel like people are not patient with the blow up. I feel like people are just trying to rush and trying to hurry up and do this and this, knowing that shit take years.
They want to go viral on that.
They want to go viral so fast. And it's like, bro, like you have to wait. And I just say play the back until it's time to play the front. And when it's your time to play the front, you go full throttle. Like today, like now is the time.
It's alright not to have shit figured out for real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your whole life to figure shit out, bro. Like it ain't gonna happen, you know what I'm saying, in one day either. Like, bro, you might not have shit figured out for 10, 15 years. And then
Facts. And it is facts. Like, and I could attest to that because it's like I can relate to that. I don't know about you guys, but I know I could definitely relate to that. Here it is. It's like I'm not no big YouTuber, but you know, I know if I just keep showing up, you know, and just by the support and the love from you guys, y'all gonna help it happen. Y'all gonna help make it happen. We're gonna speak it into existence. You know, y'all, and I'm gonna take y'all on a journey with me. So basically, we just gotta keep going. It might not take a day, a week, a month, a year, 2 years. Listen, what they said is it's right on the head. Rome wasn't built in a day. Nothing that is considered great was overnight. Anything that comes and goes like that was never worth getting in the first place. So always keep that in mind. That's why the people who work hard in whatever field that they do, there's always longevity in the thing that in whatever field that they're in. People who create hits or have viral moments or have a gimmick and they're here today and they go on tomorrow. So always stay patient.
yeah, next day you got everything figured out. And everybody sitting here looking at you wondering how the hell you figured all this shit out whole time. They not knowing that this shit took you a long time, bro. This shit took you a long time.
Well, can you please share some words of motivation to everyone watching my show?
Do you be yourself and make sure that you love being yourself. And it's going to be roadblocks.
Facts. Now, I don't mean, just to go off a little topic, I don't really like this thing going on here. You know, I feel like it's mockery. I believe in, you know, God, Jesus. So, you know, that's another video for another day. But what he's saying is facts. It is facts.
There's going to be tribulations, but always remember this is a life experience. Accept the experience, appreciate the experience, and learn how to move on from things that don't serve you well, you know, and find your journey, respect your journey, and love it.
Facts.
You wait too long to transition in your journey, and the train will leave the station without you. Timing is everything. This is why, because when your turn comes, which it will, you have be ready to take it, because if you don't take advantage of your moment when it does come, it'll pass you by. A person in my own lifetime that I saw prove this principle was Kendrick Lamar. He patiently waited his turn to go later on in his career to claim the throne as the #1 rapper from the longtime holder Drake. With that, let me explain the final piece of waiting your turn. It was April 15, 2003, and a mixtape titled Youngest Head in Charge was released to the streets by a young Kendrick Lamar stage name K. Dot, who by the way was only 16 at the time. It primarily consisted of
Look at bro was This is what, 2003? You know how old he had to be? Bro, and it took him that long to get to where he's at now. That is crazy.
Freestyles of popular hip-hop beats. Nothing special about it, and it flopped. And he went on for years to release more mixtapes that also kind of flopped. But while releasing these mixtapes, he also worked as a security guard while also working with artist J-Rock on his mixtapes, who he would later go on to collaborate with on multiple hit singles like King's Dead and Money Trees. And eventually in 2006, he was signed to an artist developmental deal with Def Jam Records, which is pretty much just a semi-paid, semi-free type rap deal when the label isn't fully sure of an artist and wants to put them through some tests and guide their skill towards another already signed artist. But was ultimately dropped because, as he described at the time, one of those situations where he wasn't ready. He continued to work, putting more and more substance into each mixtape that came out, paying homage to other greats that inspired.
I never knew any of these mixtapes even existed. I thought he just had the Section 80 mixtape and that was that. I didn't know Kendrick Lamar had 10 different mixtapes. So it goes to show you, like, yo, it's a process. It is really a process. Time after time, delayed gratification, you know, and every project he got better, until where he's at a point where now he pretty much mastered his damn craft. So it goes to show you, bro,
to him with no substantial growth in sight. That wasn't until September 14, 2010, the day I turned 5 years old, by the way, shout out to all the Virgos, where he released his fourth mixtape, Overly Dedicated. It was his first mixtape to gain some sort of commercial success, but despite the mixtape being number 72 on the billboards, he was still a hype man at this point for J-Rock and Tech Nine on their tours, opening for them, maybe on a lucky night being able to play one of his songs while hyping up the crowd, not really known outside of the small niche listeners he had.
When I say Michael, you say Jordan, Michael.
But after Dr. Dre saw the music video on YouTube to his song Ignorance is Bliss, he reached out to have Kendrick Lamar come and help him on his unreleased album. And not too long after that, on July 22nd, 2011, he released his debut studio album, Section 80. It was his first project to chart on the Billboard 200, but only sold 5,000 copies first week and got minimal media coverage. But it wasn't too long until he would later go on to sign a joint major record deal with Interscope Records. And on October 22nd, 2012, he went on to release Good Kid, Mad City, an album that told the story of not only Kendrick Lamar, but so many other kids in the city of Compton.
one of the best albums. One of his best albums too, bro.
That were once innocent turned thugs, drug dealers due to their conditions needing to survive. It was a conscious look on his life growing up like Section 80, but it also had that poppy radio feel that an album needed to get commercial success, which it did, debuting at number 2 on Billboard 200. And here's when he started to become commercially known outside of LA. Yet at the Grammys that year, despite him having the best rap album, he was not awarded it, and it was instead given to Macklemore, who publicly stated that Kendrick Lamar was robbed, and it was because this was a white ran event.
And the Grammy.
He was not beating Macklemore. Granted, Kendrick Lamar had the best album, but far as hip hop culture and far as the community, as far as rap, like, yes, like Good Kid, Mad City was a masterpiece, but I don't think it had that global appeal that essentially would have until now. Yeah, now the world can go back and appreciate it for what it is, but you know, it was ahead of its time. Macklemore had global appeal during that time. He was one of the biggest things that ever happened on a global level. So I could kind of see why Macklemore won that. He was hotter than Kendrick at that time. I would admit that he was hotter than Kendrick, even though if Kendrick had the better album, but
Me goes to Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Still though, Kendrick Lamar still had a bunch of public and commercial success. But despite him being at the peak of his career, he began to have nervous breakdowns, survival's guilt, because while he was out seeing the world performing, his friends and family were still back at home stuck in poverty and dying. He ended up trying to live 2 lives at once, which ultimately made him lose himself. But it was through this traumatic identity crisis, he birthed one of the greatest rap albums of our generation titled To Pimp a Butterfly, which was released on March 15th, 2015. A conscious rap album about the social issues in America, and also a lifelong story about any industry that involves artists. It debuted at #1 on Billboard 200, and he was sent into stardom. He won the Grammy that he is robbed of and held the most Grammy nominations for a male rap artist in one night ever. But what ultimately sent him into icon status was his 4th studio album titled Damn, released on April,
which is arguably his best album. I think that was his best album, personally.
14th, 2017, which gained immediate worldwide success as it was his most commercially sounding album.
I hate that song. I hate that song so much. I'm not gonna lie. I did like it at some point, but I think with radio and people, they just overplayed it, and I just can't stand it. Like, it's one of those songs where you hear it now and it just gets exhausting. Like, they need to retire.
But it still had that substance that Kendrick Lamar is known to have boiling beneath the surface. Around the same time, he began to tour and hop on features of some of the most popular songs at the time, like New Freezer, Mask Off, and All the Stars. He also produced the iconic Black Panther album this year. And after this Damn tour, he entered a 4-year recording hiatus where the world silently started to forget about Kendrick Lamar. But he eventually came back and dropped his 5th studio album, Mr. Morale, one of his more underwhelming projects. It was an album like To Pimp a Butterfly, and it talked about the mental issues he's had to deal with since the fame, the money, and fast lifestyle, but it was more of a personal healing album where it was like we were a third perspective listening and watching Kendrick Lamar go through his personal healing journey. Still though, nonetheless, it was up on the charts, it got the Grammy that year, and he was back like he never left. But despite Kendrick Lamar being so iconic, so commercially successful, the question of who was the king of rap was still in question, due to another rapper being way more consistent and successful than Kendrick Lamar due to his racial appearance and ability to make hits that pull in a broader, lighter audience. And that guy is none other than BBL Drizzy. See, even though Kendrick Lamar makes such iconic moments and projects, Drake makes enough iconic hits for that year and vibe. So it was easy for Drake to run the rap game, especially when you take in account for the fact that Kendrick Lamar isn't very active in the public or social.
Listen, Drake is, to me, is the best out of them three. Out of him, J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake is he's the best. He has the versatility, he has the hits, he has the numbers, he has just he cemented his stardom in the music game as being the top artist. I think he's better than Kendrick. I think Kendrick is a better rapper, and then that could be subjective, but I think to say Kendrick is better, nah. Kendrick been missing for damn near, like, before he came out, bro, he's been missing for years. And we can't really say he's the best. I mean, yeah, he left a good body of work, but, Drake has been consistent year after year after year. So, yeah.
Socially, unless it's to drop his music, unlike Drake, who is the trendiest wave rider artist that hit.
Y'all let me know in the comments who y'all think is the best out of them two, Drake and Kendrick. I'm going with Team Drake when it comes to music.
Pop has ever seen. So Drake and Kendrick Lamar have always sneak dissed each other, and it seemed that Drake would continue to run the rap game. That was until March 26, 2024, where Kendrick Lamar, after reaching a boiling point upon hearing Drake parade around as if he was the king of hip hop, and J. Cole roped himself, Drake, and him as the big three of hip hop, and directly sent shots at them saying he was the king of hip hop, thus sparking one of the biggest beefs that hip hop has ever seen. And eventually, Kendrick Lamar went on to absolutely dog walk Drake and claimed the title of #1 rapper in the world. Eventually winning a Grammy for his diss track Not Like Us, and he is, as of now, at the peak of his career. And what makes it so crazy is before this beef, Kendrick Lamar's career was on the decline. Although very subtle given the height of his status, the younger generation since Damn really hasn't been checking for him, since our minds are set up like TikTok and he already isn't active on social media. But due to him coming in at this perfect time and seeing his moment be there and taking advantage of it, he went out and called the other two biggest rap artists of our generation. And he knew exactly how to beat Drake because he studied Drake's tactics against so many other artists, which I explained in the article.
I don't think he beat Drake. I think he exploited the moment for a second to make it seem like, to give off the illusion that he was bigger and he had the upper hand. But in reality, when it's all said and done, Drake is going to get the last laugh when it comes down to who is the best out of them three. Drake is always the best. He's always been consistent. He's always been versatile. He appeals to damn near everybody. 1 minute Drake is UK, next damn minute he's Jamaican. Then he's Canadian. Then he's from New York. He's the everyman of rap, bro. He relates to any and everybody. The man is half white and half black. He is the epitome of, if you were to ask everybody who they listen to, he is the poster boy for everybody from everywhere. So Drake, I gotta give it to him.
A video. And this beef ultimately gave Kendrick Lamar another surge in his career, but that was because he waited his turn, and more importantly, he took advantage of his turn when it was here. So please wait your turn, because trust me when I say, if you choose or don't see it when it presents itself, it'll go just as quick as it came, the same as a shooting star in the sky. And that's the art, waiting your turn. I appreciate y'all so much for me rock.
He ain't lying. Couldn't have been said better than that. Let me give that a round of applause. Shout out to Alex the Virgo. You know, he definitely makes some good informative content when it definitely comes down to this. Very well put together video. And that's a fact. The art of waiting in turn. So whatever it is that you're doing, keep going with it. Trust the process. Keep pushing, persevering. You know, it might not take a day. It might not take a month. It might not take 6 months. It might not take a year. Keep going and then trust that God will direct your steps. You put God first, he would direct your steps. But you have to trust the process. You have to continue to show up. Continue to keep going. You might sound crazy or look crazy to other people, but who cares? Just do it. The biggest motivation of 2025 is just do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Like I said, we're going to be reacting all 2025. Comment down below any reaction videos you want me to react to. We're going to be reacting to literally everything. So let me know your thoughts about this video, about waiting your turn. Listen, we're going to be going up together on this journey. We all going to rise up together. So make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I just want to give all praises to the Most High God and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You didn't tune in with another video with Turn Me Up Tony, and I'll see you guys in the next video.